You are about to hear something that can transform your marriage in ways you never imagined. Picture this: a couple on the brink of giving up, rediscovering love and joy in just 30 days. Curious? Let's dive in. When we think about building a strong and fulfilling marriage, we often focus on communication, trust, and commitment, and those are all important things. But what if I told you that there's something even more foundational, something that can take your relationship to a whole new level? That something is putting God first. When we prioritize our faith and make it the centerpiece of our marriage, amazing things can happen. Marriage today can be tough. It's easy to get caught up in our busy schedules, our careers, our social media, and everything else life throws our way. And before we know it, we're feeling disconnected from our partner. We're not communicating effectively, and we're not on the same page. We might even feel like we're just two strangers living in the same house. I think it's safe to say that we've all been there at some point or another. Maybe you're in that place right now, feeling frustrated, feeling hopeless, wondering how you ended up here. We try to fix the problem by scheduling date nights, by going to counseling, by reading books on communication. And don't get me wrong, those things can be helpful. But if we're not addressing the root issue, if we're not putting God first, we're just putting band-aids on a broken relationship. We need to go deeper. We need to get to the heart of the matter. When we're not connected with God, when we're not seeking His guidance and wisdom, our relationships suffer. We become self-centered, focused on our own needs and desires. We stop listening to each other, and we stop communicating effectively. But when we put God first, when we seek Him above all else, something remarkable happens. We start to see our partner through His eyes. We start to love and serve each other like He loves and serves us. In the Bible, we see several examples of couples who prioritized their faith, and their relationships were transformed as a result. Take the story of Aquila and Priscilla, for example. They were a dynamic duo, working together as pastors and missionaries, and their faith was at the very center of their relationship. Or take the story of Abraham and Sarah, who trusted God even when it seemed impossible, and their faithfulness was rewarded in amazing ways. My own marriage has been transformed by putting God first. I remember when my husband and I were going through a tough time, feeling disconnected and alone. We were attending church, praying, and reading our Bibles, but we weren't making God the center of our relationship. We were trying to fix things on our own. But one day we decided to change that. We started praying together daily, seeking God's guidance and wisdom, and it was like a weight had been lifted off our shoulders. Our communication improved, our love for each other deepened, and we started to see each other through God's eyes. I want to share with you a powerful story that illustrates the transformative power of faith in relationships. There was a couple who had been married for 20 years, but they were feeling stuck. They felt like they were just going through the motions, and their love for each other had grown cold. They decided to take a 30-day challenge, putting God first in their relationship, seeking Him daily through prayer and scripture reading. By the end of those 30 days, they were like a new couple. They were holding hands, looking into each other's eyes, and their love for each other had been reignited. As they sought God together, they started to see changes in each other. They started to see the fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. They started to communicate more effectively, to listen to each other, and to support each other's dreams. They started to serve each other, to put each other's needs above their own. As they looked back on their journey, they realized that putting God first had been the missing piece. It had been the key to unlocking a stronger, more fulfilling relationship, and I believe that can be true for you as well. Whether you're in a struggling marriage or a thriving one, putting God first can take your relationship to a whole new level. So what can we take away from today's conversation? Putting God first in our marriages is not just a nice idea, it's a necessity. It's the key to building a strong, fulfilling relationship that honors Him. When we prioritize our faith, we start to see our partner through God's eyes, and our relationships are transformed as a result. If you're feeling inspired to put God first in your marriage, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Share your own experiences, your own struggles, and your own triumphs. Thanks for watching. You don't want to miss the journey ahead.